Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in today's episode of The Hypnotist, you'll be listening to a random hypnosis session that I'm doing based on a couple of the Mike Mandel language cards, and also inspiration from video clips that are in some way connected to disassociation. So that might mean being in a different place or somewhere else, and that might be even in a different part of the galaxy, for example. So this will be useful, I think, on the podcast because you will use your imagination, but it's also going out on YouTube, integrating these video clips. So if you're listening on YouTube, maybe check out the audio podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. And if you're listening on the podcast, maybe check out the YouTube channel so you can start seeing how I'm starting to use video integrated with the hypnotic suggestions. So I'm just shuffling the Mike Mandel language cards now. On YouTube, you'll be able to see me doing that. And the first one, I'm just cutting the cards, is quite useful for this one. It's the Two of Spades, and it's the phrase, I wonder if. I'll read out what it says on the card. Wondering takes away resistance. After all, you're only wondering, so there's nothing to fight against. And the example is, and I wonder if you'll begin to change immediately. Wondering enables you to put in a suggestion or an embedded command at will because you're just wondering. And I use this phrase a lot, but I will definitely be using it in this particular episode. Just shuffling the cards again. We're going to use one more. And this is the Jack of Hearts. What do you want? So this is more outcome elicitation, really. So it's a great question to start a session. It's much better than asking what's wrong. By asking this question, we identify the target state, what the subject will see, hear, and feel when they have solved their problem or achieved their goals. This cuts through a lot of complaining and focusing on the negatives. So although this is more part of the let's say the diagnostic element of a session. And when I'm working with clients, typically I will ask this question, what do you want? What's a positive outcome? But quite often I'll use what's known as the magic wand question. And that is to get them really thinking about what is a desirable outcome. And it removes all limitations. So you might ask the question, if I had a magic wand and I can make things exactly as you want them to be, how would things be different? And that really gets their brain focusing on the positive outcome rather than what a lot of clients do. And they turn up with reams and reams of notes about what the problem is, but you want to get them thinking about what the solution is. So I'm going to start using these in this session. And again, on YouTube, you will start, hopefully, this is the first time I'm doing it, actually seeing some pretty cool videos in the background as well. So find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in a sense of calm and relaxation. And as you breathe out, get a growing sense that you're breathing out tension, feelings of stress or worries or concern. That's right. Breathing in a resourceful feeling. And on the outward breath, if you haven't already done so, and if it's safe to do so, just allow your eyelids to close, taking you deeper and deeper, relaxed. And perhaps, within your own imagination, you can imagine a candle. in darkness. You can see the flickering of the flame. Maybe you can imagine 1 candle, 2 or even 3, glowing the wax, seeing the brightness of the flame. And I want you to hone in on the movement of the flame going left and right. And as you focus on that flame, the flickering of the flame, I want you to get a sense that you're starting to release feelings of tension just as the wax is melting from the candle. Imagine that your tension is also just melting away. That's it, taking you deeper and deeper, relaxed. And I wonder if your unconscious mind is ready to just let go now of anything holding you back, of anything that's preventing you from just letting go of that tension, that stress, any worries, to enable you to escape reality temporarily into the imagination that comes within your own mind. That's right, deeper and deeper, relaxed. In fact, I will count down from 5 to 1 and you will imagine the candle starting to just fizzle out, to run out of wax, to slowly go into complete darkness. That's right. 5, seeing the flames flicker. 4, feeling your body get limp and loose. 3, going deeper and deeper relaxed. That's it. 2, deeper and deeper relaxed now. As we start to go inside into your imagination now. I want you to imagine a night sky. But a night sky in a place where there is very little artificial light, away from a city, seeing the brightness of the stars, getting a sense of just how big our own galaxy is, enabling you to go deeper and deeper, relaxed. Because sometimes when you look up at the sky and you see those stars so far away, you start thinking that each of these stars is the center of their own solar system, perhaps surrounded by planets that we can't even comprehend right now. And sometimes your imagination can take you far away to imagine what it might be like to be in a different galaxy, a different solar system. Imagining different stars that are the suns of their own systems. And as you imagine somewhere so far away, perhaps you can imagine a planet. Maybe a planet that looks like our planet. But maybe it's different. Maybe it's further away, larger, smaller, different atmosphere, but you can imagine that. Planet perhaps with oceans and lands, very far away, and I wonder if this planet could be a planet to escape to. As you start thinking about this strange planet in a distant part of a galaxy or a universe, you can get a sense of what it would be like to be just so far away. And perhaps this galaxy, this planet, also has oceans and also has beaches. And if it did, I wonder how different it would be. Because sometimes when you break routines and go outside of where you normally go, isn't it the case that sometimes you have the best ideas, the best insights, when you're just very far away? And I want you to imagine, on this distant planet, there is a beach. You can imagine yourself walking on that beach, maybe with large cliffs, blue oceans, but maybe the oceans are a different colour, or even the sky. But the oxygen levels on that planet are richer than they are on Earth, so you can breathe easier. As you start to breathe that fresh, clean air, and hear the breaking of the waves on that beach in a far-off place, you start to really think about what it is that you want. And as you think about what you want, isn't it interesting that it somehow seems that all those limitations and barriers that wouldn't be there, perhaps, you can imagine just the idea of having what it is that you want. Sometimes in order to do that, you really need to think about what it is that you want. And I wonder what it is that you want. As you look at the waves breaking, going in, going out, seeing perhaps the clouds going off into the distance, maybe a sunset nearby. What do you really want? And if there was a magic wand, and you could have your life exactly as you want it, how would it be really different from how it is now? What would you be doing? How would you spend your time? What problems do you have now just wouldn't be there in this magic wand place where everything is as exactly as you want them? You get a sense that here on this distant planet you've got more objectivity. Somehow it just seems a little easier, more achievable here in this place. As you start to imagine you're able to look into a crystal ball that is filled with your future. And as you do that, I want you to get a sense that looking into that crystal ball, you can see things clearly as to what needs to change. What do you want to change? And how would you feel if that change actually took place? I wonder if you're ready for that change. Sometimes people think they know what they want. Perhaps they even say they know what they want. But in reality, they've never really thought through the connotations and logistics of what a real change would mean. And as you start thinking about the ecology of that change, that if you truly had what you think you want, What would be different? What sacrifices may you need to make? What adjustments would you need to adjust to? And as you look into that crystal ball, you're able to get lost in a world of possibilities. Possibilities of things that you want, things that you think you need. And then imagine experiencing those possibilities as if they're reality. Because the clue to living life as you really want aren't the movies that come in your mind. They're the feelings you experience. Many people think for years about a particular home, a car, maybe even a profession. But it's only when they have those things they get to evaluate how they really feel. Sometimes the novelty wears off, but sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes good feelings come every single time they see or experience or are connected to that thing. That's right. The best symbols of success are those things that you didn't crave just for status or ego. You did it from a perspective of joy. Appreciation. Maybe even gratitude. So that every time you see that thing that you didn't have and now you have it, you're reminded that you created that. You did what was necessary to create, to manifest, to conjure up something of importance to you. And the more important thing there isn't the thing itself, but what you learnt about yourself, who you are, what you're capable of, and you're left with an overriding thought that if you did that, then what else are you capable of doing? I want you to get a sense that sometimes just wondering what the ideal life would be like is exactly what's necessary to open up the realms of possibility, to start thinking, what if I try? What if I attempt? What if I do these things in a way that makes these things actually possible? And when you do them, aren't you left with this overall sense that sometimes the limitations, the barriers to those things that we want aren't real barriers? Sometimes they're just in our own mind, our own insecurities, our own beliefs. And I wonder what it would be like if you let go of those barriers, let go of those limitations, started thinking about a future that you really want. You can imagine living a life full of possibility. Just by acting as if things are easier than you perhaps think they are. And then imagine going back to that dark room where you can see that candle back flickering in a dark room, and you're left with an overall sense of going on a journey in your imagination to different planets and seas, and now back in your own body, listening to my voice, but with more clarity as to what it is that you want and what it would be like to achieve it. very soon I will count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. You will awaken with an overall sense of possibility and wonder, unlocking the very resources required to move in that direction in your life. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, get a sense that you're in your own physical body right now as I count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.
Just stopping the podcast there. As I normally do on YouTube, I kind of have a little bit of analysis or kind of reflection at the end of that. That was my first attempt at introducing video in a live context. And for those of you watching on YouTube, you probably noticed there was a few glitches there. One of my mottos in life is that you either win or you learn. And I felt there was insights I got from doing this first YouTube, integrating, let's say, different imagery and kind of metaphors. One of the obvious things there is the fluidity from one scene to another scene, and also I need a lot more, let's say, visual representations, a lot more video clips to be able to fuse them in. When I'm doing the audio, if you can see here, you'll see that I have like a little bed with buttons, and those buttons trigger different kind of sounds, and I feel I'm very comfortable introducing different sounds depending on which stage of disassociation or what I'm doing. It seems a bit different, I think, with the video things, because now I'm starting to think, right, which sounds go with which imagery and how long does the imagery last? Luckily, these audio clips tend to last around about between 2 minutes and 4 minutes, whereas the video clips might only last 10 seconds, which certainly isn't long enough unless they're put on a loop. Be interesting to hear any feedback there at all. If you have any thoughts about, because normally, of course, these live videos are just me talking into a microphone. Maybe you prefer that, or maybe you actually quite like this imagery interjected and infused in the hypnosis. So curious to hear your thoughts. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Have you got any suggestions for more kind of imagery that you would quite like to see in these hypnosis videos? Just let me know in the comments. It's a great feedback loop for me, but certainly I'm very keen to do more of these kind of stuff. I just need a lot more video and a lot more familiarity with the software I'm using. I hope you found that hypnosis session useful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.